Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing fine. In today's video, I'll be showing you how to draw a grid. I'm going to break up this videos into different parts so that I can better explain how you can draw a grid for your drawings. Basically in this video, I'll be showing you how to draw a grid on an A5 size paper, but you can follow the same instructions, the same rules for any size drawing paper that you may use. Okay, the first part is before you draw a grid. You need to first decide on whether you're drawing a square grid or a rectangular grid. For this example, I'll be showing you a square grid. I use a 2 cm by 2 cm size grid. You can make it a 1 by 1 cm grid, but I don't follow a 1 by 1 cm grid because you'll be taking so much effort to draw each square and you won't get much benefit from having a smaller grid than a 2 by 2 cm grid. And if you go above 2 by 2 and you start drawing like 3 centimeters by 3 centimeters or above, the larger the square grids or the larger the size of the square, the more the chances you can get your proportions wrong. So I would stick to a 2 by 2 centimeter grid. Part 2 is deciding on the size of your grid. Whatever drawing paper you have to first take the length and breadth of your drawing paper. Now I'm using an A5 size paper. So I'm using an A5 size paper, so my limits or my breadth and width are 13 centimeters by 21 centimeters. These are the limits, so you can't go beyond that. Now since I'll be drawing a 2 by 2 centimeter grid, I need to get the highest number within these limits that is divisible by 2. So basically I have to then take 12 centimeters by 20 centimeters or 6 columns by 10 rows. These become your new grid limits, so you need to note them down. As a side note, you may not be able to use all the drawing paper as reference image sizes vary. So I'm just going to show you how to maximize using most of the paper as well as trying to get the full image in as well. As an alternative, you can use a custom size paper for each reference image. That is if you buy paper in chart form and not in pre-cut sizes, or you're not using a sketchbook. The third part is using an app. I'll be using the Grid Maker for drawing app. This is on Android, but I think it should be available on iOS as well. The first thing I do is choose a picture from my gallery. Once I have that, I decide on choosing a square grid. I do this by pressing on the menu icon. And now I have to put in my columns and rows. I then choose the number of rows and columns. I stay within the limits of the rows and columns that I previously noted down, and here the maximum I can go is 6 by 9 depending on the size of the image, reference image. Like I mentioned earlier, because your reference image size varies, you're not going to be able to use the whole of your paper, so your grid also is going to depend on that. Then finally, choosing the color of the grid, I change the color from black to green so that I can easily see it while drawing, and then finally I save the image. Part 4 is actually drawing the grid. I'll be now drawing a grid which has 6 columns and 9 rows as given by the app. That is 12 centimeters by 18 centimeters. Once I'm done with the outline of the grid, I start marking out the squares which are 2 centimeters apart. Part 5 is drawing the portrait. Choose a starting point. It can be the eyes, ears, nose or mouth. I prefer taking the eyes as my starting point. I first mark out where the eyes are by counting the number of squares. Tip 1. When drawing facial features, think of them as shapes. It will help you in better drawing a portrait. Tip 2. Mark out the starting point in a particular square where your shape starts and where it ends. Once I've got the eyes, nose and mouth down, I go in with the outline of the face. Following the same process, trying to find out where's the starting and ending points and what shape it forms. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more such videos. Take care.